In this video, I'm going to do a comparison of the brand new Ping G430 driver against the Taylormade Stealth 2. Now, both of these drivers are brand new for 2023, and I'm here at the facilities at UK Golf Academy. So we've got the TrackMan set up, and I've got Scott here, the PGA professional, to help me take a look at some of the numbers. Now, I am a 19 handicap golfer with a pretty horrible swing, let's be honest. Big out to in, and I can easily top it 10 yards, I can slice it 50 yards right, and I can duck hook it 60 yards left. So this is gonna be a normal golfer comparison. So they're both in 9 degrees, raised up to 10 degrees, and they've both got a 60-gram shaft in a stiff flex. So let's see the difference with these clubs. How do they feel? How do they perform? I'm gonna hit 4 shots with both clubs, and then I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna leave in the bad delivery shots. Anything that's a real duff shot where I top it, 50 yards or it doesn't really go anywhere, I'll take those ones out. But generally, I'm gonna do my very best to keep all the shots in.
A few moments later.
Look, sorry, we'll take that one out. That's too horrific. That is a perfect example of what 19 handicap golf can look like. That's a different sound. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these numbers on the TrackMan, comparing the G430 to the Stealth 2. Initially, there's a lot of similarities looking between the two. In terms of the ball speed, they're really quite similar there as you look across the averages of the two. And in terms of the actual carries, pretty much the same. 205 average carry with a Stealth, 205 average carry with the Ping, and a deviation being 8.6 and 8.8 yards. So even in terms of deviations, they're pretty much the same on them two. So I'll hand over to my esteemed expert colleague Scott over here, but I'm not seeing too much of a difference.
No, not at all really. So really similar in terms of like your carry and your spin, that sort of thing. I would say maybe the Stealth had a little bit more, you created a little bit more club speed for it.
Yeah.
It probably didn't translate into more ball speed, which might have been where you was hitting it on the face, but it certainly was a little bit faster. But apart from that, spin rates, carry distance looking pretty similar there.
And as a club fitter, if you were coming in for that, because obviously we're doing the test with these two off the rack today, really. But if we're looking at the fitting numbers, well, my spin is just too high with both of these clubs, really. We'd want to see that down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes that's the way you're delivering the club. So changing that would obviously reduce the spin, but there's definitely stuff you can do with the club head. Maybe trying different styles of club heads, which will close the face a little bit more. That would hopefully bring your spin rate down, and then I think we could get your carry distance and total distance up a little.
I think that's a lot to be said for getting fit for the clubs rather than buying off the rack, but I appreciate that not everyone has that opportunity and people do just want to buy off the rack. So this is the point of this comparison today. And in terms of the numbers, I'm not seeing huge differences that I'm really concerned about if I was gaming one or the other. In terms of feel and look, they're pretty different. Interestingly, looking at the overall kind of where the shots have landed, I've got a much bigger variation with both of these clubs, left to right, compared to the comparison that I filmed previously with the G430 and the Callaway Paradigm. So again, that just goes to show it's not the clubs that are making these balls go all the way across the fairway. It's me. Can I consistently deliver the club face? Can I consistently deliver the club path? Well, I can consistently deliver the club path, I just can't really consistently control that club face. Sometimes it's pointing extreme left and sometimes it's pointing extreme right. So the numbers are shown there that there's not a huge amount of difference between these two for me. Of course, your mileage may vary, so I always recommend trying to get fit or at least trying to hit the clubs for yourself. But in terms of the actual look and the feel, well, there are some pretty significant differences between the two. Of course, with the Stealth, you've got this entirely carbon fiber face, as well as carbon fiber crown as well. Whereas on the Ping G430, you've got the titanium face and body. Looking down at the clubs, I'd say that they sit pretty similar. Maybe that the Ping actually looks like it sits a tiny little bit more open, even though I can see the club face more on the Stealth because, well, it's big and bright and red. But yeah, maybe it sits a tiny little bit more open. And again, the Ping does look slightly bigger to my eye, just because of that slightly more teardroppy shape, as well as the fact that it's got the matte top and the turbulators on top. Where I really found the difference was in how they felt. The Stealth definitely felt more solid when I hit it, and that solid sound carries through as well. Even though Ping have done a lot of work to reduce the tinginess, as it were, of the 430 compared to the 425, well, still sounds pretty loud when you compare it to something like the Stealth. The one thing I did just want to point out as well is that as I was swinging the club, the Stealth felt a tiny little bit heavier to me. I personally quite like that feeling, and it's really kind of opened my eyes as to whether or not I do want to really get fit for this club, because I've currently got a Ping 425. But overall, in terms of the numbers, there was nothing to choose. I've included any affiliate links that I've got to buy these clubs down in the description below, and a big thank you to the UK Golf Academy and to Scott today for helping me interpret those numbers and take a look at them. If you are down here in Essex, then make sure you check these guys out because they offer a full fitting service. Make sure you hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful today. And if you are thinking about buying the new Ping G430, why not check out my full comparison against the new Callaway Paradigm driver as well, which I've included right here.